Hey everyone, welcome back to AndyDemos. Today we're taking a look at the Shawn Tubbs signature Tilt Overdrive from Revv amps. The Shawn Tubbs signature Tilt Overdrive is the culmination of over 30 years of guitar session work and world tours with top musicians. Shawn's love of a cranked single-channel amp is one I can relate to, since it offers something magical that overdrive pedals rarely capture. But with Revv's design expertise, the core overdrive circuit delivers a touch-responsive amp-style drive that can meld into whatever sound is in your head, not just Shawn's. The bass and treble are largely to thank for this kind of record-ready tone, with a huge usable range at each end of the spectrum. Shawn's experience with studio mixes really helped dial in what this type of boost should be, since a full frequency boost can sometimes turn your tone into mush, instead of helping you cut through. Counterclockwise with the tilt control cuts lows and adds highs, and vice versa when clockwise. Plus the three-way tight switch allows you to fine-tune the low end and cut the right amount to avoid any flubbiness after you've dialed in your sweet spot. Like all Revv products, the Tilt Overdrive is a high-quality build from Canada and employs an 18-volt DC circuit internally for increased headroom and dynamics. Check it out along with other pedals and amps at revvamplification.com. Let's begin by showing the interaction between the boost and drive circuits, because I think this is really where the magic happens. I'll start with the drive on its own and then show you how it interacts with all the tilt EQ and the low cut options with the boost side. So it's a real dynamic overdrive to begin with, and you have a lot of gain range here. So let's crank it up and see how it adds a lot more compression, but it stays very smooth and tight. Tighten it up by rolling back the bass, and we'll get a bit more edge with the treble. So very dynamic on its own. Now let's hit it with the boost side, and I'm going to keep the cut or low end intact by keeping it flat, and then we'll see how that tilt EQ works. Increasing the tilt actually backs off on the treble and increases the bass. So it's like a seesaw effect. And going the other way has the opposite. So by backing off on the bass and increasing the treble, it really helps out any kind of neck pickup you can throw at it. And while we have these stacked, let's try the tight switch and see how we can just fine tune that overall low end. So I'm actually going to increase the bass on the overdrive, and then by cutting some low end going into both effects, you actually tighten up the overall sound, but you don't lose, that kind of heavy quality of increased bass on the drive. So as you can tell, having that tilt EQ, the tight, and also that 2-band EQ on the drive can really just help you fine-tune the sound you're looking for. And in this case, it really helped kind of get rid of that bloated quality on single note leads just by going to the more extreme tight setting. I'm going to switch things up with a Les Paul here and just use the boost side to get a little bit more out of my clean Fender Deluxe reverb. So I'll play around with that tilt EQ as well as the tight switch and see what matches up best with this scenario. Let's really increase the output and get some more drive out of this amp. Thicken it up by increasing the tilt. I think I'm just going to roll off a little bit of low end with that tight switch. And again, the boost and overdrive are very interactive here. So if you have a heavy boost setting, you may want to change those tilt settings when you have a overdrive already on. So let's try it with a fairly medium gain drive and kind of a warmer top end here. All I'm going to do here is just go to the more extreme tight setting, and it's just going to kind of take a little bit of that woofiness out, but I'm really not touching any other controls. Here's a setting I'm finding really helpful, and I'm going to start off with a very tight overdrive. So I'm backing off the bass here, and I have the gain about 75%. And the boost is not really adding a whole lot of volume or gain. It's just kind of changing the structure of the tone. So I have the tilt EQ almost all the way up. So that's thickening up the low end, and just a little bit of unity gain or above it with the boost amount, just to add a bit more sustain and crunch. Well, as you can tell, it's a very smooth overdrive, and it just reacts to that boost section so well, despite any heavy-handed tilt EQ controls as well. So be sure to check out the Shawn Tubbs signature tilt overdrive at revvamplification.com. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next Andy demo.